What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. And right after I made that video yesterday, some unexpected things happened in the game. The first thing that happened was we can now craft an SS memory in here. Now you can craft up to 2 of these things as long as you get 10 of these tokens. And when I first saw this, I thought, well, that's really good. I mean, we're going to be able to craft these if you're lucky enough to be able to get 3 of these memories for Kusanagi. So that way you can do the change of kit for the character. However, they actually jumped it up even another notch and they gave us this login event where we're actually acquiring more of these Lucky Chance event coins. This is amazing, guys. There are 3,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 coins in here, which guarantees you 4 of these right here. That guarantees you 1 extra memory for sure, which is awesome. And on top of that, they're throwing in another 2 of these. This is spectacular, but on top of that, during this login event, we're going to be able to use a BS selector for free and an SS selector for free. And when you take a look at what's in these selectors, like as far as BS, I mean, look at these characters that are in here, right? You got Rugal, who I still use in Guild Raid all the time, scoring, over 15 billion in Guild Raid, right? With the support of Leona, with the support of Bison. So some of you are really, wondering, who should I pick? Who should I pull for? Well, if it's your favorite character, that's the character you should always pull for, right? I mean, if you want the game to be fun, you always want to pull for the characters that you love. Now, if you're looking for a damage dealer, Rugal is going to be a big dog. However, something you need to always keep in mind is that you're not going to have the 3PG for these characters. So unless you already have a 3PG, that's something else, right? If you already have a 3PG for a lot of these characters, especially like Geese here, Rugal, it makes a big difference for them. Zero, Ignis, I mean, these guys you can actually get a 3PG for from the Epic Quest. So that's something else to keep in mind. You can get a 3PG from Epic Quest for them. Now, you have to do some insane farming, but you can get 3PGs for these characters from the Epic Quest, right? And then you got a character like Leona, who's just a godly support because she actually has weaken if you get her to A5 and unlock her change of kit. And in order to unlock her change of kit, you need 3 actual memories for the character. So that's another thing. Maybe you're looking for a certain character that you want to get another memory for. Maybe you already have 2 memories, or maybe you're trying to work your way up to getting 3 actual memories for the character to do a change of kit for them. I mean, Leona is a godly support, guys. Just insane. The best support definitely out of the BS characters. Easily, Rugal, damage dealer. I mean, Zero is insane for Infernal Guild Raid. Rugal, because he has both poison and bleed. He's just nuts for Infernal. Ignis is crazy because of his leadership that applies to all-star fighters, whether they're BS, SS, whether they're collaboration characters. His leadership will apply to every single one of them. Plus, he has shock, guys. He has darkness. He's just an insane character himself. Like, really, I don't think you can go wrong with really any of these characters. You can get a 3PG from Orochi in the Epic Quest, although it will get interrupted. I mean, Orochi is strong, but that is something to keep in mind, guys. I mean, Chrysler does have a 5PG that's always available in the game, and it doesn't get interrupted. He's a very, very good character that has, relevant dots built into his kit. I mean, they're all great. I mean, Guinness, I mean, all these characters are awesome as far as power levels. Like, every one of them are really, really good, right? But Leona, easily the best support. If you're looking, but we just got Kusanagi, right? We just got Kusanagi. So, I mean, you're watching this video during getting Kusanagi, and actually, from what I've seen so far, he's actually a better support than Leona. And you don't even have to take him to A5, right? So for some players, they might think, well, I'm going to go for someone else because I already have a really good support. And that's very viable. I mean, you could more than likely do that. I mean, if you're going to look for a solid damage dealer, guys, I mean, Rugal is going to be the big dog as far as just, raw power. But again, you're going to need the 3PG for them. Now, when you take a look at the SS selector, this is a little bit different story because, you can actually get Kyo and Iori from playing the game when you first start out. However, a character that I would recommend for you guys is Terry. Terry is insane for quite a few reasons. One, he's the only character on this list that has the 5.5 times explosion built into his kit. Plus, he applies Starlight the entire time. and he has a shield. Terry's one of those characters that can easily bypass RHDs, even if, he's a red attack, even if he doesn't fit the requirement in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, this guy can absolutely plow through material or plow through the content in Reviving Hell's Dungeon because he has that shield. It protects him from any kind of reflect. The guy is just insane for that. So like for brand new players, I think this guy is an insane pickup. Even if you don't have his 3PG, he's going to be nuts, even especially on your red team. He's just going to be crazy, especially starting out. And really Shizuru could be the same way. Although Terry, I would argue, is stronger than Shizuru as far as damage. His power is just greater. Plus he just has the shield. He just has better survivability than Shizuru, although she is a really good character. And Mary here is just nuts for Nightmare Geese Guild Raid, but you need her 3PG in order for her to be nuts. I mean, if you already have this girl's 3PG and you're trying to do better in Nightmare Geese Guild Raid, I would highly suggest getting her, even at level 90, guys. Even at level 90, if you have her 3PG, the girl can get it done. She can melt that meter down to where you can easily destroy Inferno Guild Raid. Gato is an insane support, especially for Lady Choi and EX Shermie. If those, two characters you have, he's a really great support for them. Yuri's a great leadership for all the All-Star Fighters with the PG Raid. I mean, Kay and Kula, they can do some cheekiness also in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, but I mean, really, personally, guys, Terry would be way better. He's way better and much easier to use than those characters. And then obviously, guys, if it's your favorite character, go for them. Go ahead and pull for them. I mean, we still need some change-up kits for these characters here. That's something else. Some of these characters already have change-up kits. Iori, like Leona, is a godly support. Whenever you take him to A5, he can actually give you increased target damage received by 30%. He's just nuts, guys. He's a really good support. The problem is right now we have Kusanagi, kind of the same situation that we had with Leona a second ago. Like it's because of Kusanagi, he actually made Leona and Iori here kind of less relevant for a lot of players because Iori and Leona both have to go to A5 in order to unlock that EX score, in order to get that increased target damage received by 30%. When you can get Kusanagi and he can give you the increased target damage received by 35% for 10 seconds right out of the box at level 90, right? You don't have to invest near as much in the character. So that is something else. But there is synergy with the Sacred Treasure team. If you're using Kyo, Iori, and Shizuru on the team, there is a lot of synergy between those characters. So maybe in that respect, maybe you'd want to level him up. But I mean, obviously, guys, I mean, if any of these characters are your favorite, you should go for them. If you have a 3PG for any of these characters, I mean, Mai's always got 3PGs available. Kyo has a 3PG always available in the game. Actually, so does Iori. But really, depending on where you're at in the game and what you're actually trying to accomplish in the game is going to depend on who you actually pick from this list. Obviously, again, guys, if it's your favorite character, you should go ahead and pick them up. And guys, you could always just save these selectors. You could save these selectors. These things are not going to be on a limited timer. You could save these babies for whenever any one of these characters from these selectors shows up and you're like, oh, you see these buffs in this character and you're like, oh my God, these buffs are really good. I'm going to go ahead and use this selector on this character, right? Or you do some pulls for that particular character. You get a couple memories and you're like, oh, I can get one more memory. I can do a change-up kit for them, or I can level them up even a little bit further with this selector, or you can, could approach it that way. I mean, this login is actually pretty amazing, guys. I got to say thank you to Netmarble for this because one, they're giving us a ton of tokens or a lucky chance event coins in order to get more memories for Kusanagi. I think that is absolutely insane. They're giving these things that's going to help that quest out also, and they're giving the free BS and SS selector. I mean, this is nice. I mean, seeing this really does give the players a lot of faith in Netmarble whenever they do things like this. We never expect everything for free, but I mean, SS and BS characters have fallen down a little bit, right? I mean, EX characters are dominating and destroying. Doesn't mean that SS and BS aren't any good. They are good. I mean, I still use them all the time, but they're not as relevant as they used to be, especially since you can actually farm for these memories in demo space. So getting these kinds of things is actually really, really helpful and really, really good really for all players, especially if they're trying to level up a particular BS or SS character. So I'm really, really happy with what Netmarble has done, guys. Let me know who you decide to go for as far as the selector, or are you just going to save it for a future character? And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.